You know, in hindsight, the whole Lance Von Erich thing wasn't Fritz's best idea. I'm John Renton with the Retro View of World Class Championship Wrestling Thanksgiving Star Wars 1985, when man was still alive. And you couldn't say that about some of the roster after this event. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. At Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas, 13,400 people. They would still be drawing big crowds into 86 in some select markets, but by the end of 86, with Kerry Von Erich's injury and the amputation of his foot and just various things, Mike Von Erich, tragically taking his life just a few weeks before the Texas Stadium show in 1987, and just a variety of things, just injuries and a whole bunch of just stuff and politics and whatever, and Fritz not wanting to take the company national, and a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole bunch of factors I just can't get into in this review that's been covered in documentaries and on podcasts and stuff like that, but it's just really, really sad how World Class was built up, the Von Erichs and everything and all this stuff, and a great roster. They rotate in and out, but some really, really great talents came through there. They rose up to prominence, and then they crashed goddamn hard. They crashed quicker than the Challenger. Kid, don't talk about the Challenger. Go do it again. But anyway, Mark Lawrence was on the call for the intros, and then Bill Mercer did the commentary. So there's only one match missing on this 77-minute show, and I do have to thank Classic Wrestling Stuff on YouTube for uploading this, along with many other shows. Unfortunately, this is the last Thanksgiving Star Wars event that is available on YouTube, and I don't know if any of those episodes are available on the Cock now, as it is on the WWE section of the Cock. So I guess we can't get Thanksgiving Cock Star Wars, if you will. Have fun on hearing that. But I will be retro reviewing the 1985 and 1987 Christmas Star Wars events and have those up sometime in December. So the Missing Link and the Grappler took on Dave Peterson and Johnny Mantell with Percival Pringle III, Percy Pringle III, aka the future Paul Bearer, bleach blonde, and just without the oh yes, just with him shouting. He shouts and lets it all out. Peterson, I noted, looked a bit like Magnum TA. A bit. I'm not saying it was like a dead ringer. I mean, maybe from a distance with, a few head injuries, you would think that he looked like Magnum TA, but close enough for rock and roll, I guess, if you were staring at this event through a goddamn telescope from the dark side of Mars. But anyway, the match was There was a heel miscommunication. Missing Link kept getting yelled at, but despite that, Mantell got dropped and a lariat from the Grappler 1, 2, 3, and that was really about it there. And then we get Lance Von Erich against Killer Tim Brooks, who Keith Lee credited with training him, and Killer Tim Brooks, respected veteran, among many, as far as people that he worked with and people he trained. I mean, Keith Lee speaking highly of him says a lot about what Keith Lee feels about, wrestling, everything, wrestling history and stuff like that. So that was good, Keith Lee carrying on the wrestling acumen of Killer Tim Brooks. Lance Von Erich was a good athlete. This was a bad idea, a really bad idea. And I understand Mike Von Erich had the injury, David Von Erich had passed away. If you could have just said, hey, this guy's Lance, we have, we consider him like family, but he's not a Von Erich. We're going to have him work with us and everything. That would have been fine. We consider him like family, but he's not a Von Erich. They could have gotten away with it by just playing around with it, but no, they made him a Von Erich. It was a bad idea. And once it was revealed that he wasn't a Von Erich, they cut ties with him. It was stupid. Really fucking stupid. Anyway, he wins with a sleeper hold variation. Okay, cool. One Man Gang took on Kamala with Skandar Akbar. They also cut One Man Gang versus Gary Hart in a quick match where Gang basically just beat up a manager. Big men battling. The referee got decked, and it ended up becoming being a double DQ. Okay. And then Jack Victory took on Brian Adias for the Texas Heavyweight Championship. Brian Adias was defending the title, and there were a lot of rest holds and some decent action, and Brian Adias won with a crossbody. There is not much I can say about this match. Nothing against Brian Adias. He was fine. Jack Victory should have really never been given single title shots because he was a better tag team worker. He's just kind of bland. Iceman King Parsons, who reminds us that we are family, and he could not wrestle the title away from Rick Rude because of Percy Pringle. I'm trying to do the song and failing, but it's an American Heavyweight Championship match because it's when they broke. I think did they break away from the NWA at this point, or I think it was A6 they did. So Rick in the amazing Technicolor Dream tights. Those are really blinding tights. I don't know why. Parsons targeted the back, and then we got a sleeper hold, and then we got Rude targeting the back. We got a lot of back targeting, and we get a roll up by Rude. Inside cradle, 1, 2, 3. Yay! And then a Rude awakening on the floor after Percy had been attacked by Iceman. So Bill Mercer interviews Rude and Percy. Rude's promos will get better, but he did basically eventually spit out that nobody lays their hands on his manager. Okay. John Tatum with Missy Hyatt took on Scott Casey with Sunshine. It was a Texas death match in a steel cage. Falls don't count, and the first person to escape the cage wins. Okay. Bit weird that they would make it a Texas death match. The women were in the cage, by the way. And there wasn't much to this. It was a really short cage. Like, seriously. Tatum and Casey were decent-sized guys, and they were almost coming up to the top of the cage. I don't know why it made me laugh so much that, like, literally anybody could have gotten in that goddamn cage if they had any kind of athletic ability. Granted, they would have gotten knocked down if they were fans, but still, not a high cage to climb. There was a bit of blood and, action, stuff like that. Spike pile driver. Tatum takes over with a sleeper hold forever and a day that's never. Tatum does eventually escape. Sunshine attacks Missy. Kabuki runs in, attacks Casey, eventually even gets a nerve hold on Sunshine, and the referees are trying to break all this up in a big fracas. And a dynamic duo, Gino Hernandez and gentleman Chris Adams, or just Chris Adams at this point, who were wearing masks because they got their head shaved at the Cotton Bowl Extravaganza just recently. Check out my retro reviews playlist, old school wrestling reviews, and documentary reviews playlist specifically if you want to hear what I have to say. But they took on Kevin and Kerry Von Erich with Terry Gordy and Brian Adias as the referees / enforcers. David Manning basically says, I don't care who wins. Somebody's got to win. He might as well have said that. So, yeah, vacant tag team championships. Gino and Chris, it was their hair grew back awfully quick, by the way. It was a straight up brawl. They just kept going for the masks and everything. What's under the mask? Who is it? Oh my gosh, Gino and Chris, except we knew that. Gordy punches Adias. Then David, comes in and Gordy says, fuck it, I'm gone. And then, there's a loaded mask. Oh no. Gino loads his mask, hits a headbutt. Adams covers 1, 2, 3. And then both men lose their masks. And even though they have hair that's just a little bit longer than mine, they're freaking out. Oh no, our hair and everything. And oh no, we're unmasked. It's not like people haven't seen others with shaved heads. But it is what it is. It's really about it for this Thanksgiving Star Wars tradition. Because they would do one in 87. I think they would do one in 88. I want to say they would, or 86, 87. I think they even did one in 88. But by that point, after Super Clash 3, which was just a few weeks afterward, it just, World Class fell so goddamn fast. And it's really, really sad. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.